Why must women, every issue you have with the man, you see the kid as a weapon against the man? Even when the child is small, immediately the father and the mother has the child, you carry the baby and put on your belly. You say, go. It's madness.
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọkùnrin àwa kíárìn tó lórí ọmọ wa a máa ń bínú tán a máa fi ọmọ yẹn lẹ̀ fún obìnrin pé kó máa lọ tọ́jú ẹ̀.
Sometimes it may not be willingly. The father might even be acting ignorantly.
But in a situation in which the man is ill and artsy, he has all the money, lavishing his money to do other things that he likes, and the woman is the only one doing everything. You are telling me it's wrong for the woman to let the children know? Hell.
If you let your children to be closer to your wife family than your own family, believe me, you sold your right.
tó bá struggle lọ fún jíjẹ mímu obìnrin pẹ̀lú ọmọ ló máa wà nílé tí bàbá bá dé ìyàwó máa report àwọn ọmọ yẹn fún bàbá a máa mú ọmọ yẹn we start beating child. When you left home again your wife will call that child that sori pé dáàdi ẹ wicked kí ni mo sọ fún tó fi react báyìí.
Hi guys, welcome to the delivery room. This is the show where we have the difficult conversations, topical conversations, controversial issues. We bring them to the fore and then we deliver them as they ought. Today on the show, we have a very interesting topic as always, and we have very interesting respondents or guests, as I like to call them. Joining me on the show today is Nakel. I'm starting from you now. Nakel, how far?
It's good. I've been good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good to see you. And
As
happy
always.
birthday.
Thank you.
Belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
Also, I have Temitayo here. Temitayo, good to see you. You're welcome on
Good
the
morning. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
All right. It's a pleasure to have you as well. And to my immediate left, I have Ifedayo.
Yes.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for having me here. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah, and then this last guest is a big fish or a bigger fish. And if you're familiar with Nollywood movies, you would remember him. Of course, he's a veteran. We have Babala Uri on the show today. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Ketigbe o.
Ugbere.
That's it.
Yeah, you did, but you just didn't respond with confidence.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if that was
You
correct.
should have just said it first.
Okay. All right, guys. In the past week, we had this very controversial issue about a popular musician, Ashake, who came to the fore about his relationship with his father, and people raised certain questions, certain things came to the fore. And today we're going to be talking about some of these issues, father-child relationship, and the roles of the mother in this relationship, in this dynamics. So I'll start with you, sir, as the eldest amongst us here. So I'd like you to talk about what are the factors or dynamics that makes this father-son relation or father-child relationship difficult to handle.
Well, if I may like to say, I will put the blame on father. Thank you. You see, most of father, a máa ń ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ mistake kan tó jẹ́ pé ọjọ́ iwájú ni issue yẹn máa ń develop tó máa affect wa. But people outside will not know. Firstly, bàbá lè dá aládùúgbò. He may be friendly to everyone in the community. But mistake tá máa ń ṣe lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ni pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọkùnrin àwa kíárìn tó lórí ọmọ wa. Ìdá bóyá ìjà ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin obìnrin àti ọkùnrin. A máa ń bínú tán, a máa fi ọmọ yẹn lẹ̀ fún obìnrin pé kó máa lọ tọ́jú ẹ̀. So àwọn nǹkan yìí ló máa ń cause ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ problem tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí. Firstly, obìnrin ní kinní kan tó bá struggle lọ fún jíjẹ mímu, obìnrin pẹ̀lú ọmọ ló máa wà nílé. Ó mọ nǹkan tó ń sọ lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. tí bàbá bá dé ìyàwó máa rìpọ́ọ̀tù àwọn ọmọ yẹn fún bàbá. The next thing for us we are doing in most house ni pé a máa mú ọmọ yẹn, we start beating child. When you left home again, your wife will call that child that sori pé dáàdi ẹ wicked, kí ni mo sọ fún tó fi react báyìí. And beside that, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa a kàn máa ń fún mú àwọn alówó pé gba owó yìí lọ bá mi san school fee. A ní attend the school fee ọmọ, a ní lọ sí school ọmọ, that's what I mean, a ní lọ sí school ọmọ, ká tiẹ̀ relate ọmọ yẹn, ká bring it to our level pé bàbá yìí tiẹ̀ ń ráyè. So màmá ló máa sọ fún ọmọ pé èmi ni mo ń ṣe gbogbo kíní yìí o. Ọmọ ò ní right láti, kò ní zik kankan pé kóun lè béèrè lọ́wọ́ dáàdì pé dáàdì mọ́mì mi sọ pé òun ló ń sanwó school, kò sí yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀. All these things àwọn ọmọ yẹn máa ń gather together, dissolve in their mind, títí tó bá fi di pé wọ́n á dàgbà, tó bá dàgbà wọ́n máa rí bàbá bí enemy wọn ni.
Okay, sir. I'll come back to you. I'll come to you now, Ifedi. So he has highlighted something about the mother's manipulation in this, and then the father's fault of not building relationships. But I want to ask you, he has described like the regular family setting where the father has to go out, where the mother is always with the child and all of that. But what other dynamics do you think this kind of manipulation happens the most? I know maybe people would say single father, single mother, that kind of dynamics makes it even worse. But what are the things that you would like to say regarding these dynamics? How do they play out?
Okay, well, for me, first of all, I would like to establish that I will be talking about the issue from both sides. Because, of course, it takes two to tango. It takes a man and a woman to bring forth a child in the first place. So now, the trend that I noticed that is common out there is that, okay, fine, for a man and woman to come together, maybe into a relationship or to start a marriage together. They meant well in the first place, but, you know, along the line, anything might happen and they might have a reason to go to their different ways, you know. Yeah. But now, talking about the woman now, I am going to talk about the women, the wicked women that purposely manipulate their children. I'm not going to be gender biased. So it's a thing.
You agree it happens.
It happens.
It
I am
real.
going to be as factual as possible, regardless of the genders involved.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So for the women that do it, I know a lot of women do it, which is wrong. Yeah. And I don't blame them, but I blame them.
Okay.
I don't blame them because I think, or they believe that that's their way of pouring out their pain. The pain they are going through with the man.
Or the way of getting back.
Yeah, getting back. Do you understand? By trying to turn the back of the child against the father, which I absolutely am not in support of because it's wickedness.
Okay.
Yeah. Then at the same time, talking about the men involved, sincerely, the rates at which our men are becoming so irresponsible is alarming.
Okay.
Now, the truth is that if you do not have anything to do with a woman anymore, the woman already has a child or children for you, it's fine. People have reasons to go to their different ways. Yeah. Life happens. But the thing is that whatever happens between you and your spouse or your ex, the fact that she has children or a child for you, you shouldn't transfer that aggression. Do you understand? On the child. Which
is one of the things he mentioned, that
yes,
fathers always leave the
In fact, I have friends, I have some male friends, they will tell you for the woman to have the guts to leave their house, regardless of what happened. Yeah. Maybe the woman was suffering domestic violence or whatever the case might be, and she chooses to opt out of the relationship. Now, the man will just feel, maybe she left. She can take care of everything. Do you understand? Okay. Which is wrong. It's absolutely wrong.
All right. I would also like to get your take on this before we go. I have a few other questions, but these dynamics, how does it play out? How have you seen it play out? And what would you say is the major factor in this father-children relationship, especially with that dint of mother's manipulation?
I think for me, we've all spoken very well. For me, I will come from these two angles. The aspect of unforgiveness from the part of the women. Secondly, the aspect of power struggle. This is a dispensation where women are being taught to, struggle with the men in the home because of the gender balance or gender equality, we call it, which is not because we are from Africa. We are practicing the patriarchal system. All right. So for a woman to struggle with the man in terms of power control, what they need to do is to go through manipulation, whereby they manipulate the children against their father.
Weaponize.
Yes. So they try as much as possible to gain the control. They know they cannot control the man directly, but through the children, they can gain access and control the man. And that is why we can say, okay, fine, some fathers are not responsible. Some father doesn't go home. But I would think speaking from our elder, what he stated earlier, that father will provide for the home. They won't be at home. They will, it's, I would call it an aspect of, let me say, cheats. Because for the man to go out, provide for the man, and you as a mother at home must reciprocate. It is your responsibility to make sure that the home stands well. A woman builds. A man is the carrier of the vision of the home. He brings the vision to you. He sells the vision to you. You are to build the vision. But you as a builder of that vision, you now try to manipulate the children so that it will not portray you as the owner of the vision.
You build according to your own design.
You build to your own design, but as a family, remember my statement that we practice a patriarchal system in Africa. Yeah. So the father, even according to the statement made by the Holy Book and according to the organogram of God, the father is the first in the family. Yeah. So if as a manager of a company, you have a vision, the workers must submit and they go in line with that vision.
Okay. I'll come back to you. Nakel.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the mother's manipulation. He mentioned that women are supposed to nurture. But then, while nurturing, they introduce certain things. There's the power struggle, which he mentioned, where that is the woman's own way of fighting. They nurse a lot of hurt, the unforgiving spirit. They are trying to get back at the man. And then they are trying to protect their own investments too, because in fairness, the man can do anything, anytime. So that is their own investment. So I want you to talk about this mother's manipulation. How does it affect the men?
Let me just start by saying we have deadbeat father, we have irresponsible mothers, so do we have an ingrate
terrible children
and terrible children. There are sometimes you see children turning against both the father and the mother. That being said, I want to come from the angle where daddy comes from, that men causes most things. But I'm not coming in the aspect of maybe being responsible in the community while being bitter at home. I want to come from the angle of relationship among children to their father's family and their mother's family. As a man, immediately, if you make mistake by letting your children to see your wife's family as being more family than your own family, you are dead as a man. If you let your children to be closer to your wife's family than your own family, believe me, you sold your right.
What if the man is also not cool with his own family?
Yeah, he's a madman.
No, there can be many.
That is what I'm just telling you.
It can be as a result of this
no
same
matter what,
conversation
no matter
that we
by the time a family start coming from you, make sure your own children align with your background. Immediately you sold your background. I mean, you did not let your children to be closer to your family.
What if your background is dysfunctional?
No, you have a say.
Listen to me. Immediately your wife leaves her family, your own family becomes her first family. Mm-hmm. Except the woman is seeing no sense of belonging in that family. It's like carrying your property, giving it out. Immediately you let, and that is what the children will grow into. if you let the children to be closer to your wife family than your own family, it's a problem. And that is what happened. If you look at, just look at things that is happening around. Look at those people. We know some women are so bitter. Let me tell you, there is no family. Marriage is not Coke. Marriage is not ice cream that is going to sweet from beginning to the end. It's a mixture of bitter cola and honey. There is no how, there is no, I don't want to see. Even the best marriage in this world or this thing, there is always issue there. But let me tell you, men, do you know if women and men had issue and they go their separate way, it is rare. Maybe 1 out of 1 million, you will see a man that is wishing the woman bad. If a man and a woman separate, if you let them have 100 children together, the woman will always be praying in her mind for the man, for party to happen to that man. That is all. 90 out of 100. 90 out of women, that is what they do. By the time they want to
poison the mind
that
of
is why
the
they poison the
children.
mind of children. That is why they always
Get back
find
at them.
bitterness in there.
It's not true.
But most times these women are victims too.
Okay, can I paint a scenario as well?
Please do.
Do you know if a father single-handedly train a child, maybe because the mother is far away or has gotten married in another place, by the time the child wants to do wedding or anything, the man won't mind the wife wearing the same attire with him. But if it's the woman that raised the child, there is problem. You as a father want to wear an attire with me today. That is how bitter women are.
But at the same time, it depends on the root of the issue.
Yeah.
It depends on
Forget the
what
root of the
happened.
issue. That's what I'm saying. There is always issue.
But
The only issue that women always have with man is that you marry second wife or you did it. That is it. Bring another issue. I want you to bring it for me. That causes issue
Okay.
from the
Now
women.
let's stay on the issue of the father-child relationship. Now I'll come back to you, sir. So when you have a father that is deadbeat, a father that is not responsible, of course it's easy to excuse that, oh, the father was not available, that's why they don't have a good relationship. But in homes where the father has labored all his life, and then after a while you find out that the children will travel, they would call the mom, they will
for
leave the
Umugo.
dad. I know a father that has never left Nigeria, and the mom has been everywhere visiting the kids. She has not been home in 2 years. She has been visiting from one kid to the other, flexing, as they will say. And the man that built all of these things is somewhere making some more for himself in the house. So I want to talk about this part of how can men deal with this situation better. I know you said they have a lot of faults, but how better can they do it? What a man knows to do is to provide, and he's always out there providing.
Thank you. In Yoruba proverb, he said, "Amokun eru ewo." You see, most of these things start from beginning. If you doesn't cook your food in the way you like it, you will eat it like that, and you will sow it like that. Tí èèyàn bá ti tọ́jú ọmọ láti ilẹ̀, tó ti bring relationship pẹ̀lú ọmọ ẹ láti ilẹ̀, at least bí ṣe wà ń sìn mo ṣe rántí ọ̀rọ̀ tí bàbá mi bá mi sọ. Tó bá ti fàyè gap sílẹ̀ láàrin ìwọ àti ọmọ ẹ, kò sí bọ́mọ ṣe lè dàgbà tó lè against father ẹ, kò sí bó ṣe lè ṣe. Nítorí pé bíbíkíbi tán bá wà wọ́n máa rántí. Okay, what about ẹni tí bàbá àti ìyá ẹ ti kú láti kékeré? Tó dẹ̀ dàgbà, tó dẹ̀ ń fi prayer rántí wọn pé these people suffer a lot on me. Tó dẹ̀ ń fi àdúrà tó yẹ, that is to say, tírú àwọn parents yẹn bá wà láyé, ó máa tọ́jú wọn gan. What about that? That is why I say most of these things start by women to God.
But we don't know better. I believe that men, it's okay, some men don't know better. That is the only thing they know how to do.
I want to come in. I want to come in,
Okay.
sir. What always amuses me is, okay, a female child, this is not being a misogynist or whatsoever people want to call, but the way a female child should reason should be different from the way a male child will reason, because you are becoming a man as well. If you have become of the age and become a man, no matter what your mother might have told you against your father, you as a man ought to now see, because you are building a family that want to come from you. No matter what your mother, the female child might do as they pleases. But as a male child, you ought to now have a sense of wisdom and not sit down on your own.
I want to
Be able
get
to
this.
listen and
Can I
and
say
align
something
with your father.
concerning what you're saying?
Yeah.
We are only talking about what the woman is saying to the child.
Yeah.
How about what the child is seeing?
Yeah, that counts as well.
What about the attitude of the man that the child, him or herself, can see with his or her eyes?
Like what?
You don't understand. There are some times that men misbehave,
How?
and the children too can see it.
Women misbehave and hide it as well. But the father only pour his own out.
Let's go
The father
this,
poison
let's
her.
go
Yes.
this way. Let's go this way. Before we can have a child in a family, at least we start from somewhere. We love ourselves from beginning before giving birth to me. When the child now be growing, what caused the problem between the men and men and the women? What caused the problem that child is looking into? Báyìí ni bàbá mi ṣe ń ṣe, báyìí ni ìyá mi ṣe ń ṣe. Báwo náà ṣe ń ṣe kó tó di pé ọmọ wáyé? Ṣé wọ́n ti gbàgbé ìgbà tí kò sọmọ? Tó yẹ pé tó bá sùn lórí bẹ́ẹ̀dì, wọ́n máa sùn mọ́ra wọn báyìí. Now, nígbà tí ọmọ tí wọ́n wáyé, gap ti wà. Now, ọmọ yẹn ti ń rí gap díẹ̀díẹ̀, ó di pé tẹ́nìkan bá jáde tó bá wọlé. Obìnrin start this thing, the women start it. They will think because you are handsome, you get money, as we are going out, maybe this guy doesn't do like this before. He enter by 8 o'clock. My husband has come home. But maybe due to some certain thing, he late to coming. The woman start thinking another thing else that the man is doing outside, which is not good. When this thing come inside the family, problem will now occur.
Arose.
When problem occur, the daughter will be looking at we are great as I am now. And it is not easy for me to just talk to you because I can't say because you are too low to me. I will just start talking to you. If woman annoyed, nothing they will be saying. When you don't have money, I marry you with a nika. I do this with this. All those things.
I marry you without wig.
Without anything.
You no get wig, I marry you.
Yes. Those are the things cause problem in our family.
Yeah.
Marry me with nika.
Okay, sir. I'll come to you now, Ifedi. So,
Okay.
do we look at even how these relationships start between the father and the mother? Do we sometimes think that is also a cause? Because in some situations, you find out that it's not really love. It is maybe someone got pregnant
And
they
you
had
force
to
it on
marry,
the man.
and then they had to do this and they had to do that. And the man is not what he wants, but he just has to provide. So do those kind of things also affect? Because at that point, the woman is defensive and she's always going to protect her interests.
Yes. Factors like that actually play out. They affect things. In a situation in which you just see yourself married to someone, even though it might not really be your wish. Yeah. You're just there due to one situation or the other, probably because you're pregnant for him, or because there's a pressure on you from your family. They are telling you are getting too old, mokowale. And at the end of the day, maybe it's the man that is coming to you at that time. You just say, okay, let me just go ahead.
Yeah, the wickedness is on your own side.
So-
you choose the man, you are shaming the man because of your own wants as at that time.
Did you?
Yes, now
I'm not
because
sure-
that, from your narrative now, it's not that the woman is in love with the man. You
So-
just want to satisfy your parents' wish.
at the
means you are
expense,
basis.
even
You are
of
the
our own
basis.
self.
You
So
are
it's
the
not
basis.
selfishness.
No, it's
I think
selfishness.
it's just naivety.
It's not that.
Yes,
it's,
now.
it's selfishness. Let me come from this.
Uh-uh.
Why must women, every issue you have with the man, you see the kids as being a weapon against the man. Even when the child is small, immediately the father and the mother has the child. You carry the baby and put your baby. You say, go. It's madness.
It's not madness.
It's madness.
It's not madness.
Can't you just talk and face the man? Iron things out. Must you involve an innocent child?
Do you know what it takes to bring forth a child?
I think that is
It's
a
80%
mistake.
of making up a child comes from the man.
Do you know a lot of things that women go through even during pregnancy?
No, no.
Yeah, you are just like a bank. It's my money.
do you
It's my
understand?
money. I just deposited
Do you
it.
know
woman
a
goes
lot
through
of,
the
do you know
pain.
you men? Do you know how you treat your wife
The
when your
woman
wife
goes
is
through the
pregnant?
pain.
A
how
lot
did
of
they-
men-
how did-
No,
how
no, no.
did they
I
maltreat
think
the
this
woman?
this is
A
this is
lot of
How-
men.
how did-
no, no, no.
how
I
did
think
they do
this is there is a misconception here.
Okay.
Now, as a woman, we have the saying, "I carried the pregnancy for 9
Which
months."
is the truth.
Is
But
the
they do.
truth, and
Isn't
it's the
it?
fact that cannot be denied.
Uh-huh.
But throughout that 9 months, the father wasn't sleeping.
What if he
It
was?
depends on the
No,
father.
no, no. The father, if you cannot have a pregnant woman as a responsible man and sleep all
It
the way in your life.
happens. Excuse me.
You are the
No,
woman
it
no go
happens.
sleep. You no go
If-
sleep
if-
for 9
if-
months.
No,
do you
no.
know
If
that?
it's
Do you
hold
know
on,
women
hold on,
have
please.
heartburn when they are pregnant?
Okay.
You see some women having serious heartburn, and they will
Yeah,
start
that one
the-
is
the
normal
man
now.
will be
That
there
is that is
sleeping.
what do we call it? Pregnancy.
The-
Oh,
the-
is it
the
hormonal?
body-
Occupational hazard.
Yeah,
And do you know that sometimes
it's
before that
occupational
period,
hazard.
the woman
Yeah.
might, because of her condition, she might
Yeah.
not be able to give sex to the husband as
Yeah.
at that point in time. That is when a lot of men go out there and mess around.
If your bank,
No, 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 no.
if your bank
If-
don't
if-
accumulate too
if-
much,
No, no. If you're
let him use
I think
another
that is-
bank.
that-
He's not
this
And
is
they
taking
an
rub
the
it on the
aspect.
eyes of these women.
Let's
Okay,
hear
this
him
is an
out.
aspect where we need medical professionals.
Yeah.
If a woman is pregnant, you visit your doctor, you must be given prescription of what to do and what not to do. When a woman is pregnant, medically, the woman even needs sex even more at that moment for easy delivery, medically. So you won't say because your wife is pregnant, then you want to go outside. No. And I think another thing that women do,
A lot of men.
Yes.
men
some do
do,
it,
some.
They
We
can't
cannot
even touch
A
generalize.
the
lot of, I didn't say
So-
all
so-
men.
uh-huh.
A lot of people
Some
do it.
people do it.
Yes.
And the fact is this, as a woman, most of them have these flexible hearts and they are quick to defend themselves in any situation. Like what the scenario Nakel painted about having an issue with your husband. I say, all these scenarios. The
They are
fact-
manipulative,
the-
right?
I can tell you,
Now,
hold
wait,
on. I can tell you for a fact, right? That even though as a child, if you want to have any marriage and it wants to last, the prayer of the father is superior to every other prayer.
The prayer of a responsible father. Please.
Hold on.
Put
Let's
that time.
get it right now. As a child, it is your responsibility to obey your parents. Even in the Holy Bible that I read, the only scripture that has a blessing after the commandments is obey your father and your mother. Now, it is now left to you to use your discretion, because even the Bible says that if someone hurts you, if you have to forgive the person 70 times, 70 times. So I'm not sure the father must have offended you 70 times in a day.
The father,
It-
the
it
father
doesn't-
really offends the
so
child.
you have to
It's the mother the
forgive.
father offended. And
have
the
to
child
forgive
pick
and
up
move
the
on.
mother's cross. And
So,
carry-
Okay, let me ask you a
let's
question.
hear that.
Okay.
You want to?
A practical question.
Okay.
Now, let me just paint a scenario.
Yes, you
Right.
can just direct it to me.
Of a situation in which a man and a woman, they had to go their different ways
Yeah.
due to some situations
Good.
which might be life-threatening,
Okay.
right? And then the woman decided to, of course, women, they want safety for their children. Responsible women will want to go with their children, especially the young children.
When the one are young, yeah.
Yes.
I buy that.
Now,
idea
how
too.
about a situation in which such a man now refuses to cater for the children?
No,
Do you understand? Saying that after all, you were the one that left, go and take care of them yourself.
that is-
Now, are you telling me that if such a mother now start opening up to the children on everything that happened, is that wickedness?
Yeah.
It's
that one
wickedness. It's unfair.
So
It's-
telling your child,
may not-
wait,
it
telling
may
your
not-
child
No,
that
but
your
it should-
father is not paying your school fees, is not doing anything.
you are not
It's
even
wickedness.
helping your own future. Reason being that we have different categories of children.
Okay.
Some children learn fast.
Okay.
Some of them will end up forgiving the father. And by the time they end up forgiving the father, maybe after 15, 20 years, it will come back to hurt you.
How?
Because you'll have been,
Yeah.
one
Because
way
you
or
feel
the
like you
other,
have done-
betrayed
you-
by
yeah,
the
yeah.
child.
You felt
Yeah.
betrayed.
You feel betrayed by the child. So it is better not to create any
Let's hear
evil
what Daddy wants to
scenario.
say.
Well, according to Quran, you see, when something like this happen, like yesterday, I'm into a local government. I saw a woman with 2 kids. It's about the birth certificate. They now ask, what is the name of this kids? He mentioned them. He now mentioned his father's name. They now be asking him, why? He said 6 years ago, his husband doesn't do anything. He married to his friend. That is why he doesn't care of
Anything
about the
them.
children.
about the children. And now say, okay, I'm listening. After now say they should put his father's name
Okay.
in and now call her. The way you are doing, it is not good for any woman. Whatever anything happen between the
Two
Man
parties.
and
Two
the
party.
woman. Yeah.
no, it is not good. Quran against it, even Bible against it. Don't call your children, don't sit them down and be explaining the problem between your father to your children. It is not good. The reason is this. Why? Because God doesn't
disagree?
I
like it.
disagree bluntly.
God doesn't like it. You may
I
disagree because you're a woman.
And I have my points.
You may disagree.
I
If you
understand.
are
You are
doing,
being biased.
We
I'm
hear-
not biased.
No, we hear you. We hear you after.
if you are doing
when
it,
is-
Quran, whatever Quran and Bible said is not good, it's not good. So when you are explaining, because I marry to you as a responsible guy, as a responsible woman, I married to you, my children is not there when we are married.
Okay.
So when problems start between me and you, don't explain it. If it should be between you, you find way to, you can find way to eradicate it.
Even women,
Okay, but
if
let's
women,
say let's say
I mean, let me just repeat something
Okay.
fine for if women want to be justifying this their bitterness instead of you.
It's not bitterness.
It's bitterness. It's
It's
bitterness.
bitterness.
It's bitterness.
It's
It's
the
wickedness.
fact.
It's selfishness.
wickedness, nothing like that.
It's going to be.
Let me tell you,
it's going
if
to
you
be-
want to justify your bitterness or everything you are painting to the child, why don't you take the child? Because this is what happens most. Immediately, the father and the mother separate, and the children goes with the mother. Most time, the women they do not grant access. The father access to the children. The father will be like, okay, if you are not granting me access to these children, you don't want me to see these children, then take care of them.
Good point.
If that
That
should be
happens
the
a lot
case,
of
times.
if that
Now,
want to be the
let me
case, let the father take the children to the father. Let the father say it to the children to their
I
face.
don't want to
that
see
I don't want
you.
to
I don't-
Let
It's
me-
not
now,
you
let me
that will
now
be telling the children,
Yeah.
manipulating them.
Let me
Let
now
it
ask
come
you.
from
Let
the
me now
father
ask
to
you
the
a
kids.
question.
I like that point.
How
Not that
about-
you'll be painting what is
How
at the
about
back.
a situation in which
Yeah.
both of them have to part ways,
Yeah.
right? And the man is not taking care of the children in any way.
How?
How
you
do
not
we
taking care
know
of
that?
the
Wait,
children?
yes, now I know.
How
what
do-
I'm
how do
saying.
you come about the woman in the first place?
Wait now.
Is it a boo-boo?
Wait. Both of them parted ways.
Yes.
And the man is insisting that after all, you were the one that left. Go and take care of the children. Hold on.
Are you
And
granting
the man is always trying to have access to the children.
Yes.
Right? Hold on. I'm landing somewhere.
Yeah.
He's always calling. Mo fẹ́ bá àwọn ọmọ sọ̀rọ̀.
Yeah.
I want to see the children.
Yeah.
Without dropping a dime for their school fees. Without asking them about what they are eating.
Don't go far
Wait
without
now.
taking responsibility.
So
Just
now-
with responsibility to cover at least the problem. The problem
I'm
is
not
No,
done.
the
though.
calling is
I'm
a
not even
responsibility.
done.
no, it's not the call.
I'm
yeah.
not even done. Now, some men are highly manipulative.
Yeah.
This story I'm telling you is a real life situation. Do you understand?
Okay.
So the man is absolutely irresponsible,
Okay.
right? So, but he's also manipulative. He wants to endear the children to himself over the phone, but shine away from his
Can I ask
responsibility.
a question, please, before you go? The woman
Yes.
in question, is she married to another man?
No,
Okay, this is
she's not married to
Okay,
another
I
man.
understand. This is it. The man don't want to give the woman the money. The man want the children to be with him.
But
the
that's-
man will spend.
That's an
That's-
hypothesis.
so I-
And again,
It may not be the situation.
Hello.
That's not.
It's-
It's a
but
situation
what
that I
he painted,
understand very
he
well.
said
You're
the
not
man want to
listening.
see the children. I know
Wait,
where
Hold
you
on,
are.
wait.
but
On
as
an
a
occasion,
psychologist, I
on
know
an
where she's
occasion,
going.
hold on.
The issue
On
there
on an
is
occasion, the
granting
woman was
access to the
advised
children.
Yeah.
to take the children to the at least access no fin kewo.
Yes.
Take her to the take the children to the man.
Uh-huh.
Which she did. Hoping that from even the food that they ate at that restaurant, that
Now
day,
the woman pay am.
the man did not drop a dime. Not to talk of transport.
This
But
film where
what
you
if-
dey
And
write.
since then, nothing
This film
happened.
where
There
you
are
dey
more
write.
to it.
But
This
what if
film
the-
where you dey
What
write.
if the man
So-
is-
This
what
film
if
where
the
you
man
dey
is
write.
reacting? What if
Reacting.
he's reacting to
So
This
my
film where you
point-
dey write.
the
No,
woman's
my
action?
point is
Some
that
people
it
go
is
direct
a
am.
useless man, an irresponsible man that will get back to a woman
Okay, let me just
by
say something.
neglecting
The children,
the
yeah.
I
children.
understand. Let me just say
That's
let me just
valid.
let me just
That's
let me just say
valid.
something.
That is my
Emma
point.
Benosa.
Okay, sir.
I'm always go to proverb or Yoruba proverb. Ó sẹ ẹni tí ìyàwó ẹ̀ bá wùn ni lọ́mọ ẹ̀ máa wùn ni.
Absolutely.
ṣé ìyẹn bàbá ọmọ àbí ọkọ
Oh,
kejì?
dán yóò bá ó dẹ̀ pé ẹ ti fẹ́ da yẹn.
no ẹ̀là.
In Yoruba.
so tí bá bímọ fún yín sí tí mi bá wùn yín mọ́ ọmọ tí mo bí fún yín náà kò ní wùn
No,
yín.
normal, yes.
Go
Kò ní wùn
Let
yín
me
mọ́.
Yes,
let me tell you bí o ṣe ní
You
wùn.
always say some scenario.
I'm coming. Let
Yes,
me,
some issue always.
Let me break
let me
it
tell
down.
you. tí ò fi ní wù mí mọ́. As far tó bá wà lákàtà ẹ̀, if my children
It's in your care.
it's in your care, I will never do anything for you.
Children that are answering your name.
Let the children
me
come
tell
to
you.
the father. The father want to
let me-
take the
let me
responsibility.
tell
The
you
world
something.
is now upside
Let
down.
Why-
me-
why do you
let me-
want to-
Let me tell you. You see, all proverb of Yoruba will never go without work. Will never. See, ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, a ní ìgbékalẹ̀ oríṣiríṣi. See, as far tí bá ṣe ń love ẹ̀, mama love gbogbo nǹkan tó wà lára ẹ̀ ni.
Absolutely.
No.
Tó bá ti díjà pé òkú ọmọ lọ nílé, sí àwọn kan believe pé tó
Tẹ́yìn
bá
bá na ìyàwó yín, tíyàwó wá kúrò lé fún yín.
But
tí
sir,
kò
there's,
kú
there's
síbẹ̀.
another way I think
I
they
don't
can even
know
handle
why
that
you
issue.
I
For
don't know
example,
why
for
you
example,
supporting.
For example, in that scenario, if a man can say, okay, this kid are with you, let me know the school they are going. The woman they won't want you to know the school. I want to pay directly
What
to the
if
school.
the
I
woman
don't
allows
want-
you to know the school
Yes,
and
the
you
man
even
should
have
take responsibility.
access?
No, but in
and the
that
man
case,
still
the
not
man
doing
should take
anything.
responsibility.
in that
I-
case,
I-
if he's
the man should take
was-
responsibility
was-
in that
I'm
case.
telling you a real life situation.
I know it's from
not
you,
a,
but
it's
that's
not
why
a
we'll talk
painted
about that
story.
later. But you understand, if in a situation like this, the man should know the school of the kids. The man should
All right.
pay directly to the school.
All right,
But
you
this
want
is
to
the
Yeah,
say something?
I think I want to say something.
30
As regarding
seconds.
okay, what you said, I have a
Yes, it's a
scenario
real
at
life,
hand.
a friend story.
The woman left the guy because of infidelity, but he needed to open up to some of us. Now the woman is taking care of the children with another man, all right. But the guys, at first, the guy wasn't having anything, financial struggle, so he could not afford. He couldn't take responsibility. Now he said, "I will take responsibility." But as that now, the woman is trying to come back to the man. But the man has gotten married to another woman. But he is ready to take responsibility. But the woman,
not
in a
that much.
manipulative way, will not allow the man. Do you understand?
To do
So
what?
it varies to even take care
It
of the
varies.
children.
It
So
varies.
it's a different scenario. So it's
So one thing
it
that has been
varies.
established now is
Yeah.
that this manipulation is as a result of the woman trying to get back to the man in many ways, and then sometimes the men's reaction to this situation, according to what everyone has said, is because that's how they know how to act, and then that's how they know how to engage their family, and then like what Babala already said, that the man is, if he does not love the woman again, then of course. But that I wanted to say that also goes the other way too, because if the woman does not love the man again, she might be able to do anything. Anyways, let's go for a quick break and we'll be right back. It's still the delivery room. You're welcome back. It's still the delivery room. And as you can see, the conversation is really getting heated and interesting. And we're still talking about father-child relationship and the role of the mother, how mothers manipulate these children to have certain relationship with their fathers. So I want to come back to you now, sir. I want to talk about that child. I know, of course, Naken mentioned that they are terrible children sometimes, who even if they get all the love, they don't get manipulated, they can still turn against their parents, which may be valid based on whatever they see. But I want you to talk about the child. How does a child navigate this thing? How does a child feel when the parents are not together, or maybe parents are not in tune, or the child is at the center of all this? How does the child cope?
Well, you see, most of things that is happening now is above our knowledge because of social media. A lot of things happen on social media that all these guys look into it and behave. Say, this is how I would use my life. This is how I would do my own thing. Firstly, someone is bearing, I want to use it as an example.
Yeah.
You have a name that you give to your child. Your child may go because of school, because of education. He will say, don't like that name. He will rewrite the name.
Yeah.
So those are the things that happen. And some of father will never call him. Why do you do this? And that is one aspect.
Yeah.
Another aspect, may Almighty Allah protect us from all these evil pastor and an alpha. I'm
Oh.
sorry to say that. You see some pastor, some alpha, some elderly men, I don't know how they live their life. When you take your matter to them, they will support you in another way
Yeah.
of life. For example, as a pastor, you hear that two couples fight. As an elderly man, you have to call them and know what happened between two of them. Some pastor will not know. Some alpha will never know. He will just be giving you support because you are doing much thing in their church or in their mosque. So they don't want to lose you.
Oh.
You understand me?
Yeah.
They don't want to lose you. Whether you have money, you are spending on their church or on their mosque. They will not like to leave you because of your wife. They believe if your wife take you away
Yeah.
or your husband take you away, you will never pay your due to that church again. So those are the things that most of women listen to their pastor. They believe their pastor is their God.
Even more
They
than
believe their
husband.
father is their God.
Yeah.
Whatever their father or pastor talk to them, they will believe that is the true and that is the way.
Okay.
You see, most of women we have, they have flexible mind. They are very easy to control.
So how come some men cannot do that?
Some men will think otherwise. When you cancel some men, when they leave you, they sit down. They will be thinking. Women have too much belief in their pastor, in their father, in their elderly men. They have too much belief in them. So whatever they say with them, they will believe in it.
It's not the pastors or father tell them to turn the child against the father. It is something a little bit more innate from the woman. That's my observation.
And that is your own observation.
Well, I'll come to you now. So, as someone who is familiar with a particular situation, which you described earlier, how does that child handle all of this drama? And how can a child even heal from? Because it's traumatic sometimes when a child has to go through this father-mother dynamics that you're supposed to stay as father-mother. And then you find out that there's a good mother-child relationship, there's a good father-child relationship, and the mother starts feeling threatened when there's a good father-child relationship. That child.
Well, to start with, there's no need for a woman to feel threatened. The ideal thing is for the father to have a cordial relationship with the children. That should be the joy of every mother. Do you understand? Yeah. So, but talking about how the child copes, especially if the child is with the mother, it is the duty of the mother to protect the sanity of the child. How do I mean? In my own opinion, the only thing I am totally against the mother pouring out her experiences, her unpalatable experiences that she had with the father. I'm against her pouring it out to the child.
Thank you.
Because
it's
it's not good. It's not good.
God bless
right?
you.
But, however, I'm also rigidly and solidly in support of you letting your child know what is going on.
Okay.
Yes, you are not turning their back against their father.
Okay.
But
you tell the story from your angle now.
no.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Can I ask you a question?
Please let
No,
her.
I need to ask a
I've
question.
not even landed.
Can I ask a question?
Please
There have
let
been
her.
a scenario where a married woman fornicated, and maybe she's been caught. Assuming maybe now we are married, we have kids, and I get to know you are cheating, sleeping with another man, and I caught you. Do you want me to tell your children?
And that's why I say that. Whatever
It's a
happens,
yes or no. Should I tell your children?
if you want to go ahead, go ahead.
No, that is not the question.
Yes, now.
Since you are reporting
Do you
the
know
father,
why I
anything
said
that happens to the father,
no? You're not
you as a
getting it.
woman will not hesitate to
That's
tell
not
the
my
children that
point.
Daddy, you are unfair.
Ó ń bá wọn sùn ni o.
What I said earlier, no. What I said is
Cheating.
that
Should I tell your children?
you're not talking in line with my own thoughts.
It's a question.
I'm not even in support of that. I'm never in support of you telling your children whatever you encounter with your man. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Do you understand what you're against here from the start? What I'm in support of is that if Let the child know what is happening.
What again is with the child?
Between him, the father, and the child herself or himself. Do you understand? If you are the one paying school fees, let the child know.
Why?
Why won't you?
No. Why? It's
Yes,
what I'm saying.
no,
It's what I'm saying.
Now you are telling me that a man can afford to do all of these things. Fine. If the man doesn't have the money, it's not a big deal for the woman to do. And when the woman is doing it to cover up for the man, she doesn't have to tell the children about it. She must not. Why? Because the man that is supposed to do it does not have. Fine. Okay. But in a situation in which the man is ill and artsy, he has all the money, lavishing his money to do other things that he likes, and the woman is the only one doing everything. You are telling me it's wrong for the woman to let the children know? Hell.
Okay.
She has to let the children know.
I'll come to you, Temitayo. So now, this child is seeing this a rocky relationship between the father and the mother. And then sometimes naturally you have to pick a side, right? And naturally, as humans, we would always go with the underdog or the person that is not even more friendly. That is at the shorter end of the stick, that is suffering pretty much. And usually that's the woman. So do you think that when children gravitate towards their mother more based on what they've seen, do you think sometimes we can even say the mother did not manipulate them, like she said, like it is what the child saw and felt like, oh, my mom was not properly treated in this situation, and so let me cater for her?
Actually, this scenario can happen, and but it takes the maturity of the child as well. Children learn faster from what they see than what they hear. So saying it already will create a scenario in the heart of the child or the children. But in as much you are growing up, right? There is this saying that I will leave the things of a child alone. As a matured child, you have to let go of the past, because sometimes it may not be willingly. The father might even be acting ignorantly. So you see some father after some years, they will come back to their senses. So I never wish I could do this. It could be because of this, it could be because of that. So if you now continue to nurse that, imperfection of that man, you end up hurting yourself, because if you go against your father today, definitely your children will go against you tomorrow.
Definitely.
Let me say, you see, life again, either there is problem in the family or not. Life, the way God has designed it, He has put in the love of a child 3 times in a child's heart ahead of the father.
Okay, the mother's
the mother's love
because
the heart of
even
the
the
child.
breastfeeding
Is already
is a time.
Yeah.
But as we navigate in the journey of life, if you see how your father, like my own father, you see the struggle he went to, you see everything he passed through just to make you people, someone in life, you have to realize it. And there is it's so saddening that you see some women, no matter how the father is, they turn. And that is why I started with, don't let your children see your wife's family to be more family to them than your own. I know what I'm saying. If your children are closer to your own family, believe me, most of his mistake will not be seen. The family will correct the mistake.
Okay.
And again, women, whatever you are doing, the life is changing. The way our father lived their life, the way our grandfather lived their life, the way our great grandfather, it cannot work in this Gen Z.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to, as a man, you are doing, let it be a night saw. Let everyone be seeing it. If you are undergoing a divorce, don't give your wife school fees for the children. Ask for that school. Go and pay. Don't transfer. The day you want to go and pay the school fees, be present at the school. Let the children know.
Okay, now, sorry.
If you buy
I need to say something very important.
Go ahead.
When the other time you were telling me that it is wrong for the woman to let the children know that she's one paying school fees.
No, in this Gen Z time.
It is right now.
Yes, in this Gen Z time. In this calamity
you are contradicting
generation,
yourself.
You have to.
You are contradicting yourself.
No, you have to.
Yes, now.
You have to.
Let us.
You have to. I said it is wrong, but in this generation we are now.
Let us strike a balance.
Yeah, in this generation we are now. now.
strike
We
a
have
balance.
to.
You
We
are
have
too
to.
partial.
We have to. If
let
I
us
said
strike a
if you are
balance.
undergoing
No.
divorce,
Let us
Please,
just strike a
please, just
balance.
You are
Okay,
partial.
let's strike
It
a
is wrong
balance.
for a woman
In
to
the
do
be-
it,
not for
in
the
the-
but it is
partial.
right
It's not
for a
being
man to
impartial.
do it.
If
This
you are
is
undergoing
it.
divorce.
You are being
Let's
partial.
strike a balance, please.
Okay.
In the beginning, Mr. Lowry made a statement that men tend to provide, but they are not always present. I'm coming from the two perspectives. From his own perspective now, let's strike a balance. Okay, now this generation, men should not just provide
They
behind
should
the
be
back
present.
alone. Let them be present while they are providing. Now, from your own perspective too, okay, if the woman is doing it for the children, right? The reason why you are doing it could be that, okay, the father doesn't have
He has.
one. Or for the father has the money,
But
but
irresponsible.
doesn't take care of the children.
Okay.
But for you to save the future of the children, if you are doing it, let your husband know. Let it be already. Even if, see, there is what we call nemesis. Even if you are doing it and the children do not know. On your banity, your ban, your leda.
Now, this is
If you don't tell them, this, your spirit, your creator will fight
this
for
is
you.
the first thing I've ever heard today that is LD to my ears.
That is that. Are you kidding me?
This is the very first LD statement.
No,
I've
it's
heard
just because that is what you
concerning
want to
this case.
hear.
Yes, now.
That is what you want to hear.
Because you
But
were
we are
telling
going
me
to
that-
tell you the
Obìnrin.
truth.
You were telling me that
We
it
are
is
going
wrong.
to
Women
tell
now.
you the
Therefore,
truth.
a
Woman will
woman-
never agree.
Why are you capitalizing on that?
Yes, now.
If you are together in a home,
That's the
your-
first eldest thing
listen
I've
to
ever
me.
heard.
If you are together, you and your husband is still together. It is very wrong for you because you are covering up for the man to be telling your
Gentlemen,
children.
I said that
it is-
earlier
A
now.
woman will never agree.
Yeah, I know,
I
I
said
know,
that
but I can
earlier.
handle them.
See,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
give kudos to our father.
Mm.
Something happened when my father and my mother are still alive. That year, in our house, we used to kill that Ilea festival.
Yeah.
Amareno.
Yeah.
That year, my father, he doesn't have any money to buy.
Mm.
And you know, woman would not like
To be left out.
to be left out.
Yeah.
Ikamakpẹ̀rún. Now, ìyá tó bí màmá mi now call my father pé ìjọ kẹwàá tí ọdún iléyá máa fi happen lẹ́tí máa rẹ̀ràn kí ló ṣe ẹ́. Ìyá tó bí ìyá mi ó ní màmá ó mú mi dání ó ní màmá I don't have money. Mama now open his bed, bring money, give it to my father and tell my father you should not tell your wife. I don't think where such of thing has still happened.
No.
nowadays.
But
The
they are
one- the
not-
people carry
they
you
are
to
not
talk to,
the
let them
same
know.
thing
See,
now. It's
it's
not the
the-
same
it's the
thing
same
now.
thing.
We are
That-
talking. You talked about a situation which the man does not have. I am talking about a situation which the man has and is lavishing his money to do other things, but he's not taking care of the children.
The
They
issue
are
I'm
not
saying,
the same.
the issue I'm saying is this: for you to do things for your son or your daughter,
Yes.
and you allow him to know the who did it, you allow her or him. to
Even
know.
if you don't tell the child, who is the child blind for? The child
No,
knows that you are
no,
paying.
no.
I think
I just bring the
I think
issue.
in some cases
Yes.
the mothers like make it
Obvious.
No.
Make
Yeah,
the
no.
children as a
Yes.
weapon.
Yes,
No, no, no,
I
no.
just
Some
bring the
cases,
I will
issue
yes.
never support any
because
woman
of
using
women,
it as a
the
weapon.
attitude
In some
of
For my
cases.
own
But that is what you are saying.
My
That is what
point
you are
is that
doing.
communicate.
So
Let carry the child along.
So
This
why
is
do you
what
think
is
that Kel
happening.
is reacting that
This is what
if
is
you want
happening.
to
My
pay school
child,
fees,
this is what
go
is
to the school?
happening.
And let the man to
Sir.
reciprocate the energy
when you
How?
continue to be saying
by
this to your
making
child,
sure that the
Yeah.
children knows
continue
that
to be
it's
saying
not
this to your
paying.
child,
It's not a big
you are
deal
creating
now.
problems
Brother son,
Yeah.
in future.
I will reciprocate the energy.
That is the future of the
Let's
man.
let's
It's not a problem.
let's move along. Let's move along.
See, that is why I give kudos to our fathers, because the way they live their life with their, sometimes if father doesn't have money, woman will take his own money to buy clothes for their children,
Yeah.
and the children will not know who buy it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens. a
Just
lot.
then, children
That-
will not know who buy it.
That happens a lot. But I want to
It's
ask
the same
I want
thing.
to
Even
ask
school fee.
I want to ask a question.
Okay.
I want to ask a question. So
Okay.
what do you think is I think you might be able to answer this question better.
Okay.
What do you think makes it easy for mothers to be able to manipulate the child? Is it because, oh yes, I breastfed you or I carried you for 9 months? Or is it because they spend more time What do you think is
That's
that
their
thing?
profession.
That's their profession.
Well, to start with, I'm never in support of a woman manipulating the child against the father. I'm never in support of that. Never. However, just to answer your question, for the sake of answering your question, well, there are some things that women naturally have, some advantages that women naturally have over the father when as far as the children are concerned. It's nature. I mean, nature has provided such. Number one, the child is formed in the mother's womb. They have started communicating, either you know it or not. They share the same placenta. The child gets food from the mother. That bond has been, it started from there. Even after the birth of the child, the breastfeeding, the breastfeeding and everything. When you are breastfeeding a child and you are talking to the child, you can speak to the destiny of the child. Yes. Do you understand?
Forget all those
they
narratives.
spend
They
more
were not
time.
being said properly.
They have more time.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
I think that's
is
so-
let me answer that question. This is why I think plays out. In African setting, we believe the father must provide. And considering the economy,
We
the
believe
father, that is what
It
we are
is-
making.
it is the
This
norm.
is why it's a norm.
Yes.
God bless you.
It is the
And
norm.
for the father to provide, considering the economic system we have in this
You
country,
cannot stay at home.
the father live at as early as 5
Yeah.
or 6,
Yeah.
come back even when the children are slept.
Yeah.
You understand? And on the weekend that he's at home, maybe he go to church or he attend to or hang out with friends. He has little time to spend with the kids.
Yeah.
That is the first thing. The mother has a lot of time. Most women are housewife. Even those that are not housewife, they are either going to work closes by 3, 4. Some even they also open store for them. The mother have enough time to spend with the kids. And this time the kids brain are still very, very soft and fragile. The women are feeding with sawdust. That's how most kids, they don't know book in school because what their mother is feeding in their
Is it
brain
up to that?
is even
You know-
is wait, let me tell you
Is it
the
up to
truth.
that?
What the mother is even feeding in their brain is more than is occupying spaces that the children should
Oh my
learn.
God.
I think it's one of
This
I
man
think
now,
it's one of
you
our-
men, you're saying so, right?
No, men are not safe.
no,
We
men are not
don't
safe.
we don't manipulate the kid against you.
But
No man does
I
that.
think in this case,
You don't
men are the
manipulate.
victim.
You know what I'm
That's
In
what
this case.
that's what it's looking like.
You know what I'm
Men
saying?
are the victim.
That's
saying? Even what the man
Not
always
in all
try.
cases.
Look at men, they use 2 weapons. And it's not an easy weapon. The man will say, we call the children. Ṣé ọmọ yìí, ọmọ mi, ọmọ gidi. Sorry, ọmọ tó bá jẹ́ ọmọ burúkú ti yẹ ni.
Yeah.
The man is not even claiming all the children.
Yeah.
He's still trying to
But
correct the
he's
child.
claiming the good child.
He's claiming he's
And
not
leaving the
asking
bad
he's
child
not
for the
asking
woman.
he's not even asking the child to bring anything.
Want the child.
But he's correcting the child.
Yeah.
And you know the wicked thing, like Daddy said in the beginning, he said by the time a child goes wrong,
Yeah.
the mother will what?
Wait for the
Romance
father.
and caress the child. When the father come, he will now use the father as a weapon that will destroy the child.
Yes.
Discipline the child,
That's
do
the-
everything. By the time the father left,
That's the
the mother will now say, "Pẹ̀lẹ́, bàbá ẹ̀ mo mọ bó máa ń nà ọmọ báyìí."
That's the very
Imagine
issue
this
of-
wickedness.
That's the very issue of putting it. But
That's
then,
not-
of course,
Yes,
it's understandable.
Well, it's not
But then
your
I,
case.
I wanted to, when I was asking about the child earlier, I wanted to talk about how a child can heal from all of these.
It's by creating a bond, letting
because
father
I
and mother,
remember
father and child
a
have a
teacher
love child.
friend once told me that she was teaching social studies and she drew family tree and gave the children assignments. Okay, draw your own family tree. And the child only came with mother and child.
No
And she felt like, Olodonieni, his father, mother, and child corrected the child. Child went back and still drew mother and child. And out of anger was like, beat the child or scolded the child. And then the child out of anger said, there's no father.
It's an indication.
That this is what I have now. You said we should do, you should
Family.
draw what we have. This is what I have now. And the teacher now felt like, oh, because naturally, maybe the teacher felt like this is how it's supposed to be. Not like expecting that kind of dynamic. But as a child, that child already has an absent father. And of course, it's going to be traumatic for the child when he or she sees other people's fathers doing things and all of that, the child will feel left out. And the child would most likely want to ask the mom, where's my dad, and all of that. Yeah. And we've seen these things play out several times. But how would this child heal from this kind of trauma? Because don't forget that most of these children become fathers and they carry over most of these things into their own family settings too. So how does the child heal? I'm particular about forget the father's manipulation, forget mother's manipulation.
That is
the child healing and doing better.
It's prayer. You will be more prayerful than any other.
Yeah. Another thing I think is that there should be this father and child time together. You understand?
Fathers should be deliberate about that.
With the absence of the mother, let the father start spending time with the kids, doing things. Yeah. And talk to your child. Don't be too militarily or
inclined.
Lion of the tribe of your family.
So you wanted to
yes. Something? Now, if I get your question right, you said, so it is assumed now that the child is supposed to be going through the trauma.
Yes.
Right? Now, you painted a situation in which the child's father is absent, right? And the child might feel left out in the school. Now, I'm a psychologist, so coming from that angle, the only thing you can do is to work on the mindset of the child. How do I mean?
Who will do this?
Since if the child is with the mother, it's the work of the mother to do that.
Okay.
You have to sit your child down. Explain, my son, my daughter. All families are not the same. The same way everybody is not the same. In life, some people are light complexioned, some people are dark complexioned. We are all different. Your family can never be like another person's family. Now, this is our own situation. There is nothing we can do about it. We have to accept it and still be happy. Number one, your father is fine, right? You are not disadvantaged. That is just how ours is. Now, when everybody is talking about their father, you shouldn't be ashamed. All right? You have a father. Tell them your father traveled.
Why are you lying? Why don't you bond the child? Why don't you make remedy in bonding the child?
On the premise that the father is not accessible. Some men abscond now and you will not even know their whereabouts.
Maybe
you might have searched for them everywhere. You don't have access. So in that situation, what you can do is there's a way you can just help the child work on his mindset. So that number one, because this kind of scenario can cause a lot of damage. Number one, inferiority complex.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
You are right.
So you want to protect the sanity of your child by working on his mindset. Do you understand? Occasionally, you can even... Okay, you want to say something?
Yeah. No, the father has come there. You don't even know the family.
I want to ask a question from you. Have you ever seen any woman that have problem with his husband now call his children or child, sit down, tell him the mistake she made?
Some people do.
Let me tell you. You will never see a woman call. It is men we talk it lavishly. It is a man. We say because I am married to someone. That is what caused it.
So women, I've seen a woman that sat her child down and told the child that, see, when I was with your father, I was naive. I used to be given to anger. Kí bàbá ẹ̀ tó sẹ́yọ kan àti 100. Ìgbà ìmọ̀ nìyẹn o. Ẹ má ṣe irú mistake tẹ́mi ṣe o.
Absolutely.
There are some women like that.
If you see any woman like that,
yes,
you will see problem within the woman.
But maybe 1 in
and
1
the child.
million.
Well, your statistics
out of 1 million.
Yes, only 1 million.
Good women.
Okay, so let's...
Yeah, we have good women.
Another thing is
absolutely. You are right.
My sister, another thing, can you look? Let me go this way. See, we are Yorubas. Now, we have culture. You see, most of us, after marriage, we men doesn't do it. Or, let me balance it. But women do it. If women have pastor, I repeat it, or have Afa, or have anybody, he will go and meet the pastor. Oga, I've give child to my husband. Please look our future for us. This is most...
Pastor, we don't see him.
Pastor, we know in future. Or Afa, we know. Now, you will not be telling them, this is your children. Don't let anybody touch his head, though. this guy will give you money, he will give you this, he will give you that. The woman will hold it. Men, no men, women, you don't have any time to go and meet any afa or babalawo, say, I want to look the future of my wife and my children. No, but woman is doing it. There will be
I think they are just looking for
Hey, they are
assurance.
taking care of the children.
this is
It's
how
part of
this is how
care.
problem come. When they see anything small with their husband, they will not focus on their children alone. They will use that opportunity of what they're hearing about that children. They will focus on that children, on that child. They will leave their husband and say, that's how your father will do. They will leave husband. So they will thinking about what that elderly man tell them. So those are the where problem comes. Although two of us, a little bit to the right, little to the,
We have our own issues.
Issues.
Okay. So I want to ask now. In cases where the child does not take care of the father and everybody knows, like, okay, for example, I want to bring in the Ashake case that happened days back, that everybody knows that the father, everybody in the area knew that the father catered for the child, and the child, well, did not reciprocate, or that's according to the story we heard. Of course, the real story is still in the air. But in that situation where people know, and then people see your father, and then you are here, and people can see your dad there, like, is it
Will you be comfortable?
will you be comfortable? Yes, even if you say
As the
it's up
mother?
to the child.
What?
No, as the child. If you
As the child.
yes, if
Well,
you leave it
it's-
to the child that way,
Now you're
that's what
not
I'm
if
saying.
I
saying.
have to,
Now you're not saying.
if I have
Women
to
don't
be
forgive
if I have to be
easily,
very sincere,
sincerely.
if I have to be, if I'm the child, if I have to be very sincere, it depends. I might decide to just look at the man and forgive him and let's go. And I might decide to be like, Nemesis has caught up with him. Nǹkan tó bá ṣe ló máa gbà. Iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ẹ̀ ló ń jẹ. So it depends on my state of mind as at that point. It depends on my level of exposure. It depends on how close I am to God. If I'm close to God, if the Holy Spirit can touch my heart to forgive, why not? But even, let me tell you something, sometimes even God in himself, do you know that there's a law, we have something like a law of sowing and reaping. What if karma is the one catching up with the father?
But you don't have to be the
So,
judge.
hold
You
on.
don't have to
Hold
be
on.
the judge.
Sometimes, let me tell you something. If God is punishing you for your actions, if God is punishing someone for the person's action, and you even help the person sometimes, it is a sin on you. So that's why I say it depends on my state of mind at that point in time. If I'm led to forgive, I will. If not, so be it.
Sir, before you answer, I would also like to put the final question out, so you also add it to what you're going to say. How can men protect themselves from this manipulation? And how can women also, what should women do better?
Your first question is, how can men manipulate themselves out of this?
Yes.
Well, there's a way. A way to manipulate ourselves out of this thing is to be a friend to our children from beginning.
Absolutely.
Be a friend, a solid friend, that no one will see your.
Coming between you.
You understand me? So for women, you know, women have thing. They have stomach than men. Women, they have stomach. See, that is the only thing that is making me afraid. Women, they don't forgive you. Women doesn't forgive. They will men. You see, men just they will play
So
with
men
you.
are more evil than women.
Oh God! Just
One out of 1
we
million.
are like this. What can I call it? We just shout. We just aggressive talk. So that is that's gone. But women, they will never forget. Now coming to like Ashake you mentioned now. Well, the only advice I'll give to Ashake is Omenu aye kúrò. Kódà. Ẹni tí ó wà níta gbangba tó gbá yẹ létí. Someone that slapped her mother, he will have supporter. Do you understand that? He must have supporter. So, o gbọ́dọ̀ hùwà ọmọlúwàbí kó ṣe tiẹ̀ káyé rí i pé he has done his own part pé this guy okay take it for example okay what about there's no manipulation in your house no anything in your house your father now grow to the elderly man and now be you are with him ó tún wá dàgbà débi pé ó sick ó wá yàgbẹ́ sára will you shout that ẹ wá wo bàbá yìí yàgbẹ́ sára will you shout like that you will manage that situation you won't allow anybody to know that your daddy do this that's a good child for you so let us go to that way now anything happen within our father or our mother so let us pray God will guide us way out of that because there's a curse on any children that do anything evil to his father or his mother. You believe you have money today, you will still you sold it in future. Nothing where you will do that will go free. It will never go free.
Thank you very much, sir. All right. So you want to quickly answer that before I
my own conclusive, my own is that men, gone are those days that people will be saying that at least this case now is an example of that. So my advice to men, stop saying that. Children are changing now. Yes, we used to say yes, children are changing now. If you want your future to be okay with your child, if you want your child to take care of you in the future, be there for your child. Take care of your children as fathers.
All right, for me, let this take be my last take for today. As a father, please be there for your children. They are your future. Date them if you can. Pray for them. Even in pregnancy, lay your hands on your wife's tummy. Pray for your children. They hear, they listen. Yes. Do things for them, and I assure you, even if you are gone, their spirit will still be with you.
Yeah. First thing I have to say is that parents should stop seeing their children as a retirement plan. And again, Father, the world has changed. As you are doing, let it be an eyesore. Let people see that you are seeing. Keep receipts. It matters. If you carry them, go Father Christmas, snap, put on there. Be writing the year and the age. And make sure maybe so that people will see. Receipts matter.
Be a friend with your family.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. It has been quite enlightening and interesting as well. Different takes, different opinions, different ideas and ideals about the family dynamics and how the father-child-mother relationship should work. It's been the Delivery Room. Thank you all for joining today, and thank you to my wonderful guests.
Thank you for having me.
You did justice today to this topic, and kindly follow us on all our social media handles: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. Please subscribe and like. Also share your comments. What topics you would like us to discuss, and share anything you'd like us to know, and we'll take note of that. Thank you very much, and peace.
Sign out.
Thank you.